What's up, guys? Today we're gonna be rating this video, watching it. Also, it's called "If Teens Were 100% Honest." In my teens, I honestly was not 100% honest, but in this video, they have to be 100% honest. And it's by let's see here. It's by Jubilee. Jubilee, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, let's get honest. Mask off.
In an age of call-outs, culture wars, and perfect facades, people can be afraid to express how they really feel. So we brought together 7 strangers, protected their identities, and asked them all 7 burning audience questions. What will be revealed when we take the mask off?
If the answer is yes, you will flip on your life. Do you watch porn?
First question, man. That's a serious question. Because when I was younger, when I was in my teens, a lot of these questions weren't normal back then. But nowadays, it's like something that's normal when you watch pornography, and basically about 99% of the world watches it. That 1%, man, who knows who it is?
It's accessible, and because it's accessible and it's there, people use it. I'm one of them. I think
It's true. When I was younger, it was a lot harder to buy a computer, a lot harder. And nowadays, the phone, back then, flip phones were a thing, and it was this popular phone called the flip phone, Razor, I think that's what it was called, and another one was called I think it was called Gadget, something like that. The one that you has buttons, you flip it and it flips the head over. Those were really popular phones, and back then it was harder to access it. Now it's really easy to access, and a lot of people use it as an advantage. You don't really need a woman in your life whenever you have it easy access, and it does ruin a lot of relationships, to be honest.
Most guys can agree that they have at least at some point watched it, and it's if you can.
I am not gonna lie, everybody has, especially I'm not embarrassed to say that I've watched it too. But it's something that's normal now, and everybody watches it.
Enjoy it in a healthy way. If you can enjoy masturbating in a healthy way, I think then
Don't watch it all the time. It's an unhealthy habit. It ruins your relationship, and don't watch it all the time. It ruins your relationship.
by all means go for it. But
yeah, I do watch porn. God. A lot of my teenage years, I spent a lot of time self-obsessing over it to the point where it kind of became an addiction. And it took until very recently to get out of the hole of, paying for porn. I do watch it, but I don't like that I watch it.
I'm going to bring everyone else into the conversation.
I said no. I used to watch it a lot before. I would say I was addicted to it. My dad is in prison, so there was no one really for me to talk to about sex. So porn was my education on sex.
From personal experience, it messed me up because after watching it so much, I'm sure we've all been there where you're on page 5 and like nothing is right. Like you're looking for that right video, but your dopamine receptors and everything is so messed up at this point that the same thing that would get you off wouldn't get you off anymore, right? I went so deep into it where I'm a straight man, I started watching trans porn because it was just erotic in a different way that I've never seen before. I needed more stimulation.
This guy is saying the truth. When you watch if you watch porn every single day, it comes to a point where you don't want to watch the same video. But I have never got into that point where you watch a trans woman. I think he's talking about a woman with a penis. No, I've never got to that point. But when I was a lot younger, I used to, watch it every single day. And when I got older, I didn't have that much of a. I mean, I do have sex drive, but not as much as I did when I was younger. Teenage age. But he's right. He's right. You don't when you get addicted, you first go to the first video you see. Nowadays, a lot of people go to the first video and then they go to they don't go to. I mean, they don't go to the first video. They go to like they click like on the 15th page and then can't find the video and they take hours. But be careful, be careful, especially that as deep as this guy went, and he got out of the hole. Good thing.
Because of pornography.
Yes, because of pornography. So I don't think it's just entertainment. It actually affects with your brain
It
and
does.
the way you perceive love.
You think that a lot of teenagers or teen boys are really educated on the effects of pornography?
No.
Not at all.
Have you ever cried
A lot of teenagers are not. Whenever they watch pornography, they think that's the way you sleep with a woman, and that is not. It's not. That's just a show that they put on. A lot of women are really good actors on there that they make it seem like they're actually moaning, but they're not. They're not having any pleasure, and a lot of men just, think it's real and they copy it in real life. And when it actually comes to the point that women doesn't like the way that man is sleeping with her, and then that guy doesn't know any other way because he has education by pornography. It's tough out here, especially for men.
in front of someone else?
Hold
I
on. What did he
wholeheartedly
say?
agree with
What did he,
Have
I
you
didn't know
ever
what he said.
cried in front of someone else?
I wholeheartedly agree with this statement. I feel like it's easier to open up towards women, which is kind of embarrassing, but like, quite frankly, I feel like they understand emotions more because they really understand the whole crying. I mean, I feel like crying is sort of normal to them, and they see of it as like a way to express.
Before we go on, I just want to say you never, if you're a man, you never cry in front of a woman, because if you cry in front of a woman, she thinks different of you after that. She's not gonna see you as a dominant anymore. That's why you never cry in front of a woman. This guy, he's really wrong. Once you cry in front of a woman, the woman is gonna just say you're weak and take over you, and not give you power in the relationship. I'm not saying that you're the man, this and that, no, or machista or nothing like that. But you never cry in front of a woman. And whoever agrees with me knows why. Only your best friend. You cry to your friends only. And the one that really ain't gonna laugh when you start crying, that type of friend.
Themselves.
It's interesting that you said that you're more comfortable to cry in front of women. I had a girlfriend and she broke up with me over text. And before that, we were talking and I cried in front of her and I was being honest, and I thought that's what you're supposed to do. That's what my dad taught me, right? But I guess she interpreted it as being insecure, and she broke up with me, and that really messed me up for a little while because it's well, now I know I can't show any kind of insecurity. So I don't like crying in front of women. I'd rather cry in front of some family that I trust, right?
That's interesting because I'd rather find a stranger on the street and tell them everything I'm going through because I will never see them again in my life. And I feel like they won't be able to judge me.
No
I'll
strings
never
attached.
see them.
I'd rather have a stranger think I'm strong and my family know all my problems, so it's interesting.
Feminism has gone too far.
In the feminism movement, there's so much of tearing down.
Before this starts, let me answer that. Honestly, feminism has gone way too far. A lot of women don't want us to open up. Not open up, but I'm saying don't want us to be strong. They don't want us. They want us to submit to them. They want us to be controlled by them. And whenever so look, this is basically if you yell and get mad at at your spouse or your significant other, and she says, hey, you need to stop doing that, but then she comes and yells at you and gets mad at you. It's like, no, that's what a woman wants, for you to let her do that, but not for you to do that. And it's gone way too far, because they want you to kneel and say you're the queen. And if you do say something about it, you're not. They're the feminists, you know. That's what I have to say about that.
Men are trying to put men back in their spot.
Right.
But if the women want us men to step up, then I feel like it'd be a lot more productive, instead of tearing down men and telling us all what we're doing wrong, than to, on the other hand, to build us up. I guess for the sake of keeping us accountable for our actions, and as men, we also need to step up.
Giving females more opportunities to certain things, I just think that's quite unfair. And it's like, you got to put in the work, you got to put in the certain things to earn these things. And it's not like women are granted less access to these jobs. I mean, I know there's plenty of women who are in business, who are doing good things for America. I just find it counterintuitive that this whole feminist movement is advocating for equal rights in certain things when they already have access to them.
I'm a feminist, I guess. I believe in the equality of men and women. I think that when we talk about feminism, a lot of it boils down to employment. I think that the bringing down of men, you guys keep on saying bringing down men and shaming them, I think that is way overstated. I have never been shamed for my maleness.
I think, you know, if you look at any movement, there's definitely going to be like a radical portion of that movement. But at the same time, like I want to open up the question to you guys. Do any of you guys have personal experience where you feel you've been brought down, you know, like to bring a woman up?
A little bit like in high school. And it's not like the worst thing in the world. We have like an ASB my sophomore year, there was like happy thoughts, right? Like every Friday you just write something and you put it in the bin. It'll just be the girls and then some, you know, more of the feminine guys complimenting each other, which is not a problem, but as they're complimenting each other, oh, look at you, you're killing it, and then they'll even like insult me. It went from being happy thought to build up women day. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's a wall, and we should break down that wall and focus on the human race. Not women, like not men, not Mexicans, not this. We should all bring each other up.
I've been anxious about my penis size.
Look, they want human rights. They want us to be the same, right? But whenever you're in a relationship, who goes out there if there's a guy outside with a gun? The men. If you want equal rights, come on, go along. You go out there with me. Put yourself in front of the line. You know, and they're gonna say no. We won't, and that's when they're gonna say, okay, hold on. I was wrong. I don't want this equal right thing, because it's kind of scary. And I don't know if you guys heard about that woman that made herself look like a man. She literally committed suicide because she said that men had it too hard and had it really hard, and women didn't know, and they're never gonna know. And she committed suicide because it was getting to her, how hard men had it. Until you put yourself in that spot, you'll figure out. And I'm talking to you, a lot of women. You guys might get triggered, but until you guys put your guys' self in that spot, you'll understand. And no, I'm not saying, oh yeah, I take care of 2 kids and I'm self-dependent. That's not being a woman. I'm saying the day that you have to work in a job your whole life and no child support, and pay somebody child support, and if somebody comes robbed, you don't call anybody. You just defend yourself and act like the man, you know. And you're gonna cry about it because a lot of women are really sensitive. Men are not men are less emotional than women. And women make decisions based on emotions, not on physical. Inside, not outside.
I started watching pornography, I think around the age of 11 or 12.
Hold on, I did not hear that
and that's
question.
Penis size.
I've been anxious about my penis size. I think that's what it said.
I started watching pornography, I think around the age of 11 or 12, and that's a very impressionable, vulnerable place to be in. So of course, there's always these feelings about looking at your body.
Yeah, and I think the competition is probably what affects me the most part. It's the thing you're like, I know good and well there's dudes bigger than me, and she says it doesn't matter, but it still plays on my mental when I go to sleep at night.
Currently, I'm not really afraid of the size that I have because I am kind of becoming more confident in my body and the way that I am. And I don't really feel like it's going to matter nearly as much when you're with someone for 10 years as you are for a one-night stand. So I am.
Listen, you hear what he said? When you're with somebody for 10 years, just like a lot of men get tired of the woman they're with. A lot of women get tired of the size they're with. Because sometimes they want a little bit bigger, a lot more girth. And, it does affect. He's wrong.
Not personally that uncomfortable with my size.
Everything that you just said is true, and you just need to become confident in
But
your own self by knowing.
About being confident, yeah, obviously you have to be confident. But what I'm saying is that just like men get tired, women do too. But women are really good in hiding it and becoming the victim and putting something as an excuse so they won't make it seem like it's the size.
What people really look for. But it's hard to get on Netflix and watch Euphoria and think these are grown-ass men playing high school people. And you think well, that's not what I look like. And then you think about every person that I have been with or will be with has probably seen this. I think that's really where that anxiety comes from. It's just the fact that other people probably have expectations.
I have questioned my sexuality.
I guess growing up, I was never one of the jocks of school. I always was into music, I was always into theater, and so growing up, I was always bullied because of that, because I was being too gay or whatever, and I always hung out with the girls. And so I definitely did kind of buy into what everyone else was saying, the peer pressure of saying, oh, you're gay, this is how you're gonna end up turning out because this is how you are now. With where I am now in my life, I've just kind of gotten to a place where I've grown to be confident. I know what my identity is.
People thinking that definitely
Look, I know this is gonna get a lot of people triggered, but when you question your sexuality, it's not that that you're that, but it's that you're mentally not stable in your head because everybody's picking on you. It drains you, and that's what makes you be what they say, so you can feel comfortable. So like he said, everybody was picking on him saying he was gay. At the end of the day, he started being that person because once they say, oh, you're gay, he gets comfortable because he's like, okay, I am. And then they get comfortable with it and they treat him like a gay person. It's it's mentally ill in your head when that happens. You go in a dark place. And in that dark place, to you, it's like something like Wonderland. It's like a little drug that, oh, I got to be what the people want me to be because, if not, I won't fit in. And, a lot of those people need help. No offense.
it gets you thinking, It gets you thinking well, am I or should I be?
You see what I mean? It gets him thinking because he was bullied and everybody kept telling him he was gay. And it got to him. So he just said, you know what, to fit in, he is. He said, I am.
It's should I be attracted to dudes because I like things that are quote unquote gay? But then I guess it just reveals the issue that we've made certain things gay and made certain things straight.
Yeah, right. Mine didn't stem from any kind of extra curricular activity. My stuff stemmed from porn, as I mentioned before. And when I started watching trans porn, and it's weird to say, but I got really nervous. I got really nervous because I thought maybe I'd be gay. And so, you know, I did my research on it, and I was kind of obsessed with trying to figure out like what this could mean. And all the stuff I would look up would saying like if you watch trans porn, you're still straight because they're women and stuff like that. But I'm thinking like, what would my family think? I've never sought out, and like every time I talk to a trans woman in real life, there's no like actual attraction there. So I'm still lost in the fact of what I actually am attracted to. But I guess I am still straight because they are women.
Quite frankly, right now I feel happy with my sexuality, and I feel that it's not wrong to question your sexuality in terms of law in America. Like, you're free to question whatever you want. You can question your religion, you can question your culture. It's just society is the things that constrains those certain things to be what's normal and what's wrong.
Yeah, I feel like there's such a strong stigma to be straight, you know, like, or strong like a more like a pushing you into it. That even right now, I feel the desire to like explain myself, even though we're anonymous right now. I feel like I've never been with I've only been with like actual like cis women, but like I know this like no one is judging me. We're all here to be honest, but it's such a stigma that from the last 18 years of my life, that in this moment right now I feel embarrassed and ashamed for something that's just the way it is,
I'm scared of dying.
A lot of people are scared of dying, but if you get scared, you're never gonna fulfill what you want. Because in life you have to go through things when you get close to death, and a lot of things that men like are close to death, like their biking, going fast in cars, trucks, pilling out, all that kind of stuff. Me personally, I'm not scared of it. But at the same time, it's scary whenever you're in that 1 second where you're alive and then you just die like that. That's the scary part. It's like, how long is that gonna hurt? Is it gonna hurt forever? When you get, either when you're in a car crash and you get hit really hard and you die, it's gonna hurt forever, or is it gonna hurt, or it's not gonna hurt, or it's gonna hurt for 1 second, but that 1 second's gonna feel like 1,000 years. That's the scary part for me.
I think of it as like I'm extremely scared of death. I mean, I watched my father die like right before.
And it's crazy that all these teenage boys, and I'm pretty sure there's one woman in there, and one gay dude. Not pretty sure, but I'm kind of confident about that. But it's crazy how they, in dark room, they tell each other the truth, but in real, like when you're face to face and you actually see their faces, they lie about it, because a lot of people lie because it's embarrassing, supposedly. But if my brother would come up to me and tell me all these things, it'd be normal. Like, okay, I support you. Like, but he's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, you watch porn, I support you. If you're gay, I support you. But like, I'll let him be.
For me, it's a scary thing. They just stop breathing, and just the idea of like nothing is just extremely terrifying to me. It's like you don't really know what's going on. Like, are you even thinking? Are you even there? You're just a blip out of just space.
It is terrifying. We don't know. And as a Christian, I want to pretend that like I know that there's heaven and hell, but at the end of the day, I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, I think always had the fear as a kid growing up that I'm gonna die and like not fulfill like what I wanted to do here on Earth, right? But every time I thought about dying, it was as an old person. But 2 years ago, when I started working as a lifeguard, this lady and her friend came to the pool, and I have the music going and everything. She just starts having a seizure, and luckily, I did everything right, and EMS showed up, and she was safe. But then 2 weeks later, she unfortunately had another seizure while driving, and she died. And that's when I realized life is like, it can happen to anyone at any point. And if I just die and don't do anything with my life, then that's what I'm scared of.
I have actually been a customer of BetterHelp for a little over 2 years now, and I was able to get matched up with a therapist and
I said,
Look, can I say that a lot of my family members have died, and I felt a little bit of hurtness, but in reality, I don't know why I don't feel when somebody dies, it doesn't hurt me. I don't know if it's normal, but Only if it was my mom or dad or brother or cousin, but I'm talking about like cousins that I really never spent time with and family that I never spent time with and then they end up dying. I don't cry because I don't have an emotional attachment with them. That's what I mean. But let me know in the comments down below and let me know if you guys feel the same way. And also don't forget to like the video. We're in the middle of this video. Please like it. Whoever watches one on my last videos we had about 58 60 views and about 5 likes, but please like the video and share it, please.
That I don't fear death because I, unlike you guys, I don't really have an experience, so much hands-on experience with death.
Am I afraid of the fact that I will die someday? No. But I think, obviously the fact that it might come way sooner than you expect is a scary thought. But like, it's the one thing that makes life like special. You know what I mean? It's the one thing I feel like that actually gives meaning to it. Because if you would never die, then you would never do anything. Because you would always have more time to do it.
Do you guys feel like you can actually be your genuine self when you're like talking to a girl or hanging out with a girl?
There's definitely a difference between like talking or opening up to like my...
Honestly, I think I can. I could be myself. Sometimes, you can't act too funny or too dumb. But my confidence is always at a high because if you don't, a lot of women feel when your confidence is not high and they know that you can't get them. So you got to go in there and be like, I could get you and every girl in this room. Make them feel like they're not the most important one, because if you do, they won't let you. So there was one, this is an explanation. There was one woman in the room and there was about 30 guys around her. They all said nice things and everything to her, but there was this one guy that didn't say anything to her, who just freaking walked past by her, didn't even glimpse at her. She wanted that guy. Why? Because he went in there with confidence. It's like, I'm better than her. That's how you got to go in there. But like the question said, do you feel like, can you be yourself around women? It's a 50-50, depending.
Friends that are girls versus like a girl that I'm interested in.
Like obviously if you're trying to impress a girl, you're gonna be dressed nicely, you're gonna wear some cologne, you're not gonna like...
I don't dress nice. Well, I don't dress nice or anything for a woman. Because when you dress nice, you overdress. I've seen it happen with a bunch of my friends and a bunch of my family members. When they like a girl, they overdress. They don't dress like they usually do. And I've never seen them dress like that, and then they end up looking funny. So I take it to where, you know what, I'm gonna just dress normal, what I usually wear. Because if you don't, you overdress, she's gonna think you always dress like that, and she's gonna want you to dress like that all the time after that first date.
Fart around her, right? It's like it's a filter thing. But like when it comes to your mom, like your mom's a girl, and I wholeheartedly trust my mom. So I'm gonna be myself around the people I trust more.
I guess that's what it is. There's a lot of times I walk away with talking to a girl I'm really interested in. I'm like, man, I didn't just go up and be me. And then my best friend, right? He used to be my best friend. He's kind of a womanizer, but I see him get so much success. And every time I've gotten success is doing things that he's done, which is just putting on a facade, telling them what they want to hear.
I think it's good to be yourself because, you can only put a mask on for so long. It's refreshing to talk to people and realize that I'm not the only one who feels a certain way about things. It's nice, and it's a step in the right direction for me in becoming more comfortable with being open and honest with everybody.
I think just the whole open conversation, like this won't bite me in the end later, or like someone's not gonna listen to this and think, oh, that guy's bad. I have more safety of expressing my honest opinions. And whether those be good opinions or bad opinions, it's a better way to express one's true self without trying to be influenced by what high school is and all the people influencing you in high school, because frankly, high school is just popular culture, what people think is popular.
Thank you so much.
Well, there was a lot of interesting questions. Let me know what you guys think. What you guys' answer would be to these questions. If you guys like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to put that click that notification button, and follow my Instagram, follow my TikTok, so you guys can see a little bit more shorts instead of a very long video. Peace.